What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be covering a case that I've actually heard just a small amount about, and it is the Lululemon murder. This occurred in March of 2011 at a Lululemon store in Washington, D.C. suburb of Bethesda, Maryland, when Brittany Norwood, a store employee, murdered her co-worker, Jana Troxell Murray. The case received widespread media coverage and was commonly referred to as the Lululemon murder. In January 2012, Norwood was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. On March 12, 2011, a manager in the store where Murray worked arrived in the morning to find the door unlocked, merchandise thrown all over the store, and mannequins in a disarray. She could hear someone moaning near the back of the store, but she was frightened, so she asked the man outside to help her search the store. He found Jana Murray lying dead in a back hallway, face down in a pool of blood, with a ligature around her neck. Brittany Norwood was found in the bathroom, apparently semi-conscious, with zip ties binding her wrists and ankles, and blood on her face. Bloody footprints were tracked through the store, and the manager had called 911. Norwood told police that after she and Murray had closed the store in the previous evening, she realized that she had forgotten her wallet and called Murray to let her back into the store. Alarm records showed that the door was unlocked at 10:05 p.m. Then, according to Norwood, two men wearing dark clothing and ski masks entered the store, attacked them, and then sexually assaulted them. While police initially treated Norwood as a victim, it soon became clear that the evidence did not support her account. Murray had been savagely attacked, sustaining at least 331 wounds from at least 5 different weapons, including a knife and a hammer, which may have come from a toolbox in the store. Norwood's injuries were relatively minor and appeared to be consistent with self-inflicted wounds. A forensic expert at the trial testified that the blood on her face was from a cut on her forehead that had dripped straight down, suggesting that she had been upright most of the night, not lying on the bathroom floor as she was found. The bloody footprints in the store came from 2 pairs of shoes, a pair of men's size 14 Reebok sneakers, which were found inside the store, and Norwood's own shoes. It was discovered that the tracks ended before either exit from the store. Additionally, investigators did not find any evidence that either woman had been sexually assaulted, although Norwood had cut a hole in Murray's pants to make it appear like she had been. During the investigation, it came to light that an employee and a manager at the Apple store next door had heard an altercation through the wall the previous evening. Surveillance footage from inside the Apple store shows them standing next to the shared wall, then walking away while a security guard sits nearby to listen to music on an iPad. The employee testified at Norwood's trial that she heard women arguing, one saying, "Talk to me, don't do this, talk to me, what's going on?" followed by screams, sounds of something or someone being hit or dragged, and a weak voice saying, "God help me, please help me." The manager testified that he thought the noise was just drama. Now, I don't know. I am a nosy individual, and I am that person that if there's stuff going on, my neck is breaking to try to see what the hell's going on. I'm just always like, oh my gosh, like, does someone need help? There's no way. I mean, I'm not saying shame on them, but there's just no way that I'm going to hear that kind of stuff and not stick my nose in it. I'd rather someone be like, tell me to mind my business and to F off than ignore it and then end up having to testify at a trial like this. I would feel like shit. Police also found blood in Murray's car, which was identified at the trial as a mix of Norwood's blood and Murray's. When they asked Norwood whether she had moved the car, which was found at a farmer's market 3 blocks away, she admitted that she had. She claimed that the men inside had ordered her to and told her that if she didn't come back in 10 minutes, they would kill her. She also said that they had seen a police officer while she was moving the vehicle, but hadn't spoke to them. What? Oh, I cannot wait till we watch her interrogation video, because I have seen like 2 seconds when I first looked into this case today. Norwood was arrested a week after the slaying and charged with first-degree murder. Statements by police officials and testimony during the trial indicated that on the evening of the murder, Murray and Norwood checked each other's bags for unpaid merchandise. I remember doing that. I used to work in sales when I was a teenager, and then like off and on in adult life, and until I went to college. And then did I even do sales after that? I don't know. But I know that you do have to check each other's bags. It's just like a protocol thing. Like, let's make sure no one's stealing from here. A routine security procedure at Lululemon and other retail stores. Murray found a pair of pants in Norwood's bag and called their manager after she left the store. The manager said she would deal with it in the morning. A few minutes later, Norwood called Murray to say she'd forgotten something and asked Murray to return to the store and let her in. When Murray arrived, Norwood attacked her, moved her car, then staged the scene to look like a robbery. Over a pair of pants? Girl? You are not... What? Norwood put on a pair of men's shoes to track blood across the floor, binding her wrists and ankles with zip ties. On January 27, 2012, Norwood was sentenced to life in prison for first-degree murder. She is now at the Maryland Correctional Institution for Women, and we are going to go watch her interrogation right now. All right, I'm not sure if this is going to be copyrighted or not. Sometimes I feel like A&E is kind of hit or miss. I will, just in case this ends up getting copyrighted and I do have to take it out, I will link the video down below. I'm trying to find just the raw interrogation video, and everything I'm assuming people have had to pay for it. So I'm gonna put this on and watch it with you, and hopefully, let's cross our fingers that it won't get copyrighted. So I will turn my mic off so you don't have to hear me breathe while we watch it.
We speak from United, Jana Murray, hailing from Johns Hopkins University and just about everywhere else imaginable. She wants to visit every continent before she dies. And she's a quintessential morning person. Don't you just hate those morning people? Let's hear it for Jana!
Montgomery County 911, what is the emergency?
Hi, yes, I just called 911 to come, and there's 2 dead people in the back of my store. There's a woman that's alive, and she's breathing.
Tied up?
She's tied up.
Okay, and you're saying that there's one person is dead?
One person seems dead, and the other person is breathing. I need an ambulance right away.
Did you see anything, or this is all?
No, I didn't. I was too scared to walk back because it looked like there was a struggle. I knew something was wrong. Hold on, the police are here now. Oh my God, I'm so scared that one of my girls is hurt.
Brittany Norwood, the surviving victim, was transported to a hospital, and Jana Murray, the deceased victim, was still in the store. Initially, it was just so bloody that we had no idea how bad her injuries were. So me and the medical examiner picked her up, and we took her out to examine her in the middle of the store. And once we turned her, it was just like, and I've never seen this amount of injuries on a human being. She had all kinds of cutting wounds to her face, her neck, a lot of blunt force trauma to her head. Her skull was fractured. So the amount of violence was just unbelievable. It was unheard of.
Where do you work?
At Lululemon.
And how long have you been there?
Maybe a little over a month. I just transferred from a Georgetown store.
Are you a worker? Are you a manager? Or what?
Educator, so just not a manager.
And so you were working last night. And so it was just Jana and you?
From 7 to close. And she gave me her smart trips. And when we walked back out onto the floor, she was a little ahead of me, and there was someone who hit her in her face. I turned to try to leave a back exit door because it immediately sets the alarm up.
Okay.
And this guy just had me by the hair.
So there's definitely 2 people?
Yeah. Told me if I said another word, he'd slit my throat. And Gina kept yelling and fighting, and he just kept hitting her. And I think he drug her into the bathroom, and she was still trying to fight with him. And he hit me a couple of times.
With what?
Just his hands,
Okay.
kind of on the side of my head. And it was just yanking my hair. And then the other one came out, and he had zip ties, and he zip tied my my feet together and my arms together, and then he got me across the stomach and across the chest, and yeah, I just wanted to stop.
Police are on the hunt for 2 suspects involved in the murder of a woman and the sexual assault of her co-worker.
These 2 suspects showed up prepared to commit a crime. They were gloved up, they had masks.
Jana Murray is described as a valiant fighter who would not have hesitated to protect herself and her 27-year-old co-worker who was beaten but survived.
It was not an open and shut solved case. There was a lot of confusion in trying to resolve how the murder occurred.
After that, we really had nothing. But it was just on the back of my mind that something's not right here. And that was bringing up all these issues that were kind of there in the back of my head, We had bloody shoe prints throughout the store that never left the store. We had zip ties that were in the store that were used on the victims as if somebody knew that they would be there. By this time, we found Jana's car, and we knew that the car was moved, and we knew there was blood in it, on the gear shift, on the steering wheel. It's just a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, we heard screaming, and so we go downstairs, and all of a sudden we hear a scream. And I get closer to the wall, and I can hear what they're saying.
What are they saying?
So it was 2 females. One was hysterically crying, and the other one was she was trying to talk to her, what's going on? The other girl eventually calms down and starts talking, but I don't hear, at that point, she's kind of mumbling.
Okay.
And then that's when I turn and it's oh, seems like there's drama going on.
Did you ever hear any other voices or just the 2?
Just 2. 2 female voices.
We had flown back from DC to Houston, and because of Jana's injuries, we were not able to have an open casket. We were actually preparing to go to the visitation when Dimitri, one of the detectives, called and said that we just made an arrest. And then he said that they had arrested Brittany Norwood.
Tonight we've arrested Brittany Norwood, age 27, for the murder of Jana Murray. Ms. Norwood was an employee of the store and is the woman originally thought to be the surviving victim.
Police say Norwood attempted to cover up the murder by pretending they were both beaten and sexually assaulted during a robbery.
Why would she kill her co-worker? There are indications that Murray may have confronted Norwood about stealing store merchandise.
After the fact, we learn this whole backstory about Brittany, that she was fired from another Lululemon store for buying more than she's supposed to on a discount, but then they hired her back and they moved her to the Bethesda store. As Brittany starts, that's when they start having all these incidents of shoplifting. Items are disappearing, cash is disappearing, and she's like the only new person. So they all suspected her of stealing, but they could never prove it.
Had you been told that, like, Brittany was suspected of stealing stuff?
Okay. I'm part of the leadership team, so, like, all of us knew, but we didn't have concrete proof. And then I remember I talked to Jana. She called me at 9:46. She asked me, did I sell Brittany some Crocs? And I was like, no. And she was like, because when I back checked Brittany, she found a pair of Crocs in there that still had the tags on. Okay, so we got proof now. Like, okay, we have the proof that she stole something.
Prosecutors say that Brittany Norwood lured Jana Murray back to the store after they had closed for the night, and that's when the murder happened, and that it was therefore premeditated. The defense, though, says it was not like that it was not premeditated. Norwood simply lost it. And the defense says the sloppy cover-up that happened after proves that fact, that she didn't have a concrete, well-thought-out plan.
At least 5 weapons were used, according to the medical examiner. A knife, hammer, wrench, box cutters, a rope around her neck. Marie was alive throughout all of this until the last strike of a knife.
It took just under an hour for a jury to convict Brittany Norwood guilty of first-degree murder.
I know the trauma our family has been through. I want no other family to go through this.
All right, while we were watching that, I was wondering what she looks like now that it's been quite some time that she's been behind bars. So I did find her in the system for Maryland Correctional Institution for Women, but it's strange because it has her as an inmate, but when I click her, it just takes me to like basic information. So I don't know. There's nothing, I haven't seen anything new on her. So I will try to link some. There's several good videos on this case that condense it really well that I will add in the description box below. But that is it for today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.